Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us for our daily English news edition. I'm Daniel Cook, your host, reading a translated version of the top news stories prepared by the Ora News journalistic team. Prime Minister Rama has unexpectedly dismissed the Minister of Finance, replacing him with Arben Ahmetai, who was the Minister of Economy. Ahmetai will be replaced by the former Vice Minister of Health, Milva Ekonomi. Mr. Tsani has been dismissed from his post just a few days before the IMF mission will arrive in Albania to disperse the next installment of a €300 million loan. The Socialist MP Ben Blushi commented on the dismissal. "The changes in the government are overdue," he said. "I do not want to mention names. The real problem is not the individuals, but the way things are being governed. There are few policies for the poor. The performance of the fiscal administration is weak. The country is not being governed correctly," said Mr. Blushi. The vice chairman of the Socialist Parliamentary Group criticized Blushi for these statements, saying that he is hampering the government and talking like Salih Berisha. He praised the contribution of Minister Tsani during his time in office. The very sudden announcement did not provide any reason for replacing Minister Tsani, but it leaves the possibility open for more changes, as the media has speculated. When asked to comment on these changes, the Minister of Environment, Leftar Koka, said that he was not even aware that they were happening. The Democratic chairman, Lulzim Basha, has commented on the replacement of the Minister of Finance. According to him, the Prime Minister is sacrificing Minister Tsani in order to cover up the theft from the customs and tax directories. Mr. Basha had this to say: "Even though the fight against corruption is an absolute priority, as the U.S. Secretary of State reminded us, Edi Rama remains determined to promote theft. After sacrificing Tsani to cover the $400 million that are missing from the tax and customs directories, he appointed Arben Ahmetai as the new Minister of Finance, confirming that theft is the standard of his governance. Ahmetai is among the most trusted of Rama's thieves," said Mr. Basha. He also had accusations for the new Minister of Economy, Milva Ekonomi, who is replacing Ahmetai. Today, Rama rewarded the model of corrupt concessions in the health sector, one of the biggest thefts in the history of the country. Rama divided €338 million between his friends and clients. As the Vice Minister of Health, Mrs. Ekonomi has contributed to this scheme. Rama rewarded her for her contribution, appointing her as the new Minister of Economy. The message of Rama is clear: be a thief and you can become an MP or a minister. Be even more of a thief and Edi Rama will trust you with the economy of the country. This shows Rama's financial interests. They will deepen the records of theft, poverty, and crisis, which are the only products of this government. The real change will begin with the removal of Edi Rama and his thieves," said Mr. Basha. Prime Minister Rama made some derogatory comments yesterday about the Albanian President Bujar Nishani, referring to him meeting with John Kerry at the airport. Reportedly, he compared President Nishani to an airport employee. Today, the President has responded in condemnation of Rama's statements, issuing the following statement through his media advisor. "The request from the U.S. Embassy to meet with Secretary Kerry at his arrival in Albania was a special honor and a sign of respect. The Office of the President strongly condemns the irresponsible statements made by Prime Minister Rama during his interview. We demand that the Prime Minister immediately withdraw his insulting and speculative statements against the President and the U.S. Secretary of State, because such a position does not represent the honor and gratitude cherished by Albanians all over the world toward the United States and the American people," said the media advisor. Prime Minister Rama has since responded through his social networks, saying that the presidential office misunderstood him. He writes that he was just sorry to see the Albanian president waiting for Kerry outside the plane in the manner that he did. In his own words, how and why that happened is not important. The vice chairman of the Socialist Parliamentary Group, Talant Bala, was invited to be a guest last night on our program, Tonight Ilva Taret, where he spoke about the National Bureau of Investigation. He said that the bill that was adopted by the government will not be voted on in the parliament before the justice reform package. When asked about the urgency with which the bill was adopted by the government, given the fact that it will not be passed to Parliament for discussion, Mr. Bala replied that the opposition asked for it to be this way. He expressed the readiness to find consensus with the opposition regarding the Prime Minister's statement that the reform will be adopted by the end of March. Mr. Bala clarified that the package of legal changes for the reform will be adopted in March, but the rest of the law will take more time. He said, "We have shown our readiness to sit and discuss the justice reform. The reform contains two parts, the changes to the Constitution and the legal changes. There are 40 laws that are part of the reform, and we did not say that we will finish all of them by the end of March. The Prime Minister and the majority hope that the constitutional changes will be adopted within March. The other elements will require more time. The package is ready, and we are waiting for the Venice recommendations," said Mr. Bala. He also addressed the topic of inter-party elections. He confirmed that the Party Congress is the body responsible for determining the date of the chairmanship election, if one is going to be held. He continued, "The Socialist Party Congress will make all the decisions, including the requests made by the members or delegates of the Congress. There is already an agenda for the Congress, and the materials will be passed to the Assembly, which will gather before the Congress. After that, the Congress itself is the only authority that can make these decisions," said Mr. Bala. One day after Mayor Valiai announced the construction of a new playground at the artificial lake area, a group of young people vandalized and destroyed the fence around the area. They say that they will not permit the destruction of Tirana's green spaces. Despite this event, the mayor has expressed his determination to continue with the work. He says that Tirana's kids deserve to have a park in which to play. He made the following statement today. "Since the first day, we have taken care to restore the places for children. They can destroy, but we will build again. No trees will be cut down, and I will not withdraw from this project," said Mayor Valiai. Some of the citizens have supported the project and responded favorably to a park for kids at the lake area. The municipality is expecting to finish the playground within 6 months. The Minister of Environment spoke today during an analysis of the Agency of Protected Areas.